There we go. We're live. No countdown. Just go.
Five, five, 3, 1, 6, 9,
Why are you counting
17.
random numbers? Aren't we supposed to be saying hi right now instead? So I guess
I
I'll
don't
do the
know.
quick intro. So hello everyone. Welcome to the Random Tech Podcast beta. I don't know which version we're on. It doesn't really matter. It's my fault for not being
Beta
I
39.
guess beta third. Oh, jeez, for not being steady. I got sick, and then the jobbity-job, work got in the way of doing this. So got to pay the bills, right, or something. I don't know. But we today we have again Patrice with us and myself
Hi.
with the lovely pinkish purplish background until I get something better. Still debating what I'm going to use. I have a nice picture of Mount Fuji. I might do that actually going forward.
That would be awesome. That
So
would be epic.
and then also the
Yeah.
lower thirds, working on that too. That was my fault for not following up, but we will improve slowly but surely and get better and better and better. But Patrice, how are you doing? It's been a while.
I'm doing no, I'm doing random, maybe. I don't know.
Oh my
No, I'm doing
gosh.
fine. It's been a good week. I have the next week off, so I've been doing tons of research into topics, I think some of which we will talk about today. So
I
there's
forgot you're in
that.
Europe. You actually get time off. The US, you work yourself to death.
We
So
do, yes. Like vacation days. I have so many damn vacation days right now. I have to take some. I've
actually, I need to take.
literally not taken a lot. But,
I've been kind of waiting on that too. We are planning possibly to go to Japan during like Thanksgiving, and then maybe New Zealand
hmm
during the winter, um, because the flights are for. Well,
That
I
sounds
don't know
cool.
the job. We're starting our flights up to
hmm
New Zealand again during their summer. So when it's winter here
Oh,
in Hawaii, we
wh-
start up the
yeah,
flights to
yeah.
New Zealand. So it's tempting to go there. Just
When are you getting a route to Vienna? Because you need to do that.
I keep on asking. My joke was way back when I first started, people got their badges, and it also had their
hmm
flags of the country for the
hmm
language that they can speak. So they even had like
hmm
everything from Guam to Korea to
hmm
Japan for Japanese and stuff. But
hmm
I asked, hey, can I have a German flag on mine? And they said no because we don't fly there. And I was like, that's not fair. We don't fly to
Hmm.
Guam anymore.
That's not
Why does he get to
fair.
keep his?
Yeah,
So
that's not
yeah,
fair.
it's all good. It's all good. I get it. I get it. So
Nah, makes
but
sense.
I guess the
Very
first
cool.
thing, like, there's some big stuff happening. If you have been living under a
hmm
rock like me, you more likely missed it. But we got some Apple OS updates coming out next week because we had release candidates last week.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, exactly. We actually got a bunch of updates. We got OS updates coming next week, and also a new beta coming out basically this week. So
For all the
there's like
devs.
there's like yeah, it's like tons of stuff. I mean, we're getting ready to ship Apple Intelligence with 18.1 probably on Monday morning. We'll see. Monday morning, whatever, California
I
time.
think usually hits like 9, 10 o'clock here in Hawaii for some
Yeah,
odd
something like
reason.
that.
So usually I get
Yeah.
a text from my friend, hey, it dropped. And then
hmm
we're all updating. And then it says, hey,
Yeah.
please wait 2 days for the update to finish and verifying and everything. So,
Yeah, because literally the entire world is updating at the same time.
and macOS Sequoia is getting an update too that day. So, which is,
hmm
or going to have an
Yeah,
update that day.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, the full package. I think all devices. I mean, Apple. Very minor things in Apple TV and Vision OS, but we're getting some improvements there as well. But yeah, basically every device Apple has, every current device is getting an update.
oof.
Watch, iPhone, Macs, like everything.
The
Like
one thing I
even
wanted
home.
to say
Yeah,
though
there's even a
is
HomePod too. There's even a HomePod
for the
update.
HomePod too.
Yeah, yeah,
Holy crap.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's an 18.1 beta that I'm on for the HomePod as well. So yeah,
What I was
getting
gonna
that.
say is, if you're running any beta software, don't do it on your production stuff. Just have to do that disclaimer because some
eh,
people are like, "Ooh,
eh,
new stuff!" Yeah, and then it breaks, and
yeah.
then we got problem. Yeah, you know what?
No,
You're okay with
my
it.
disclaimer is different. My disclaimer is different. Um, Run it at your own risk. If you know how to deal with it, and I mean you have to be
Mm,
really certain. If you know how to deal with it, if you know if it complete like you're traveling and it completely breaks and you're able and willing to fix it, then okay, that's your risk. That's your problem. It has happened to me. I mean, I've been traveling. I was in whatever Birmingham, and my phone just completely crapped, and
oh
I
no,
had to like restore it. Yeah, and I did. So if that's you, if you're okay with that, if you're dealing with that, do whatever you want. But if you're not,
that's
then
fair.
probably stay away from it.
Which I was going to say too, when you do move to 18.1, once it's released officially,
Mm-hmm.
there's a wait list for Apple Intelligence. So it's
Yes.
by device, per device, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So you add your device to the
Yeah.
wait list. When I did mine on the
Mm-hmm.
release candidate, it was pretty quick, but I'm assuming the rest of, well, the US,
Mm-hmm.
is it just US right now? And my video just died. Oh no.
Your
Give me
video
one
just died,
second.
yeah. It is English speaking countries.
Okay.
So US, UK, Australia, and Canada, I think.
Okay.
So something like that. Something like
So
that.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
The camera's
It will
coming
be
back.
interesting to see. It will be interesting to see whether we get actually if whether the waiting list actually is a waiting list, because so far it's been on the betas, because I don't think there's too many people, it's been pretty quick, like
Mm,
couple minutes, couple hours at most, maybe at most a day.
okay.
That was the longest that
Yeah, mine
people
was
had to
quick.
wait.
I was joking around with my
Yeah.
colleagues when I moved our
Mm-hmm.
work phone over to it. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, look! Here's a screenshot of where we're at." It says, and it says
Mm-hmm.
preparing. It downloaded. It's done. I was like, "Okay, that was no
Mm-hmm.
wait list. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. False alarm. False alarm."
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm wondering, I mean, I'm still wondering why there is even a waiting list, because it's all on device.
Correct.
So it's not that they need to get some servers ready or whatever.
I would understand it for
But
18.2 and less for 18.1 because, like you said, everything's on device. 18.2, I think, adds in some of
yeah,
the um.
some, but it's still a lot on device. So
Okay,
I'm assuming that they're simply, it's not about anything, let's say, technical. It's more about kind of controlling who gets it and how many people at any time, so that if something doesn't work, they can simply stop.
they can cut it off because you get that
Yeah,
update, something
exactly.
changes, and there's
Yeah.
issues. It's
Yeah. If
harder to
it's
just ask a
downloaded, it's
person
downloaded. I
to.
mean, we've had that where like people down like the 18.2 beta is broken right now. Where so I mean I even haven't gotten it yet, because there seems to rumors at least have it there's some issue with it, and some people get it,
Oh,
like you sign up now and you get it, and we signed up basically the first couple of minutes still haven't. So we'll see how that goes. But as I said, I'm guessing that I've heard like some people, once it's downloaded, if they got through it, you have it, like it doesn't go away.
yeah,
So
I
because it's
think
on
I did
device. So
mine on Friday. I moved to
hmm
the release, or not the release candidate, but the new beta, just to kind of mess
yeah.
around with it.
hmm
So I guess we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. So far, the phone
Yeah.
hasn't combusted yet, so I think
No.
we're good. We're good.
No. Which also makes sense. Apple is very careful in. I think I mean people are complaining. Oh, it doesn't. I mean they complained when the beta for 81 came out, like in
People
August.
complain when
Like, oh,
everything
it
works
doesn't have.
well.
Yeah, it's true. I mean they find something new to complain about every time. Now it's like they complained about, oh, it doesn't have all the features that Apple talked about in June, which they by the way said that it will come out throughout basically the next month.
Correct.
So fine.
Uh,
But I
People don't
really
listen
like
to
that
that.
slow rollout, like step by step, you get new features when they work and not before.
I think it's safer that way, just
Yeah,
in the long run, because just
yeah,
doing the shotgun approach and giving it to everyone. I
mm-hmm,
mean, you said,
yeah,
like you said, something can go wrong, and then all of a sudden you got people
mm-hmm.
crying. It's just you can't make everyone happy. I've given up on that.
No, no, no. And you see that, I mean, it just goes deeper. All the Apple Intelligence features that they've introduced, they're fairly limited in what you can do with them.
Mm,
Doesn't I mean it's still a lot, but I think it's in a way so that people actually still understand what they're doing. Like, I mean, with ChatGPT or with like all the stable diffusion, like all the image generation or whatever, you can do whatever you want if you know
right.
how to use it. And that's the hard part, like figuring out how to actually do it. And the interface doesn't help you at all. And Apple's approach is more, okay, let's service the things that people might want to do in a way that they still understand it.
Oh, Apple
Sure.
likes to hide some of the functionality too. You've seen that too.
Yeah.
It's like in a menu, and then someone
Yeah, sure.
discovers it, and then they do a how-to, and then everyone
Mm-hmm.
knows after that. I've
Yeah,
noticed that
of course, and
for a lot of
that's
things.
for the people like us that could
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
it is.
most people don't even care. Like they can do the five things they want, and I think it makes sense that way. I mean, you see it in the 18.2 beta with the image playground, what I've seen so far. You can actually go in and at least see the app, even if it's not working for you. You can see how the interface looks like. If you and on the Mac especially, if you just when the dialog comes up telling you, "Hey, you're on a waiting list," if you just press the escape button, it will bounce you off and then nothing works. But you can see the interface. So
Oh, that's
as I
kind of
said,
cool.
it's really interesting. It's really
Huh.
interesting. Like you can see. you can see how like okay they're only surfacing like a couple of things you can select basically.
Oh, that's a good
So
thing.
makes
We'll
sense.
see what happens. I'm actually, since
Mm-hmm.
I really haven't messed around with it much, I'm going to be excited actually jumping over to 18.1 once it releases,
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of mess around
It
with the
is cool.
features. So
It
I
is
forgot,
cool.
were
It's
the Apple
limited, but it's
Mail
cool.
features, were they active
Yes,
in this one,
some
in 18.1?
some of them, yes. So
Okay.
it's not the full-on mail change comes with 18.2 with the categorization and so on,
Mm.
but it does give you the summary and the writing tools, I think.
Oh, nice.
If I
Okay.
remember correctly.
That's good to know. Which
Yeah, the
reminds
writing
me,
tools are cross app. Look, anywhere you have
oh,
text, you can do it. You can use them.
that'll be awesome because I actually got to dig
Mm-hmm.
into like on the work side, we might have to lock some of this stuff down at the beginning until we get approval and everything else. So that's gonna be kind of interesting. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's
prefer, hey, it's a nice
literally
tool to use. So it's on device
mm-hmm.
anyway. So
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, makes sense. Like it's all coming step by step. So get ready next week.
get ready. And also next week, what else do we have, Patrice? From the sounds of it, at least.
Uh, from I mean, no, we know there is stuff coming next week. Who was it? Someone posted
Oh,
on social media.
let
Greg
me
was
look at Greg.
Josviak.
Yes, Joshua.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Josviak. He posted basically what did he say?
He
Mac
said
your
Mac.
calendars, I think.
Yeah.
Mac your calendars or
Dad
something.
jokes
They
and
they have an
puns.
exciting yeah, they have like an exciting week basically with announcements all week. How many we'll see every day, every couple days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, who knows? But he said they're starting on Monday morning, so we know that.
Are you going to get any gear
What's
if
coming?
anything's announced?
Um, think about it. I'm really like I have a M1 MacBook Pro. It's coming up on 3 years. It's working fine. But I'm thinking if I sell it now, I could buy a new one. So maybe I'll do it. We'll see what they have and what it costs. I mean, it's gonna be expensive here anyway. So
Oh yeah, that's right. I
Europe
forgot.
and taxes and all of that. So like 20% VAT, and Apple always charges something extra when they sell it in Europe anyway.
Because I
So
have a M1 Max right now, a 14
me
inch
too. Me too.
MacBook Pro.
Same one.
So, oh, same thing. Okay, there are 2 gigs of RAM,
Yeah.
and that one's still chugging along with no issues. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, you
Mm,
know what? I don't know if I want to spend any money yet. I might just run into the
yeah.
ground. It still has Apple Care, so it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
do I
Yeah.
do I upgrade or do I
Uh,
keep it?
yeah, I'll see what they have. I'll see. I mean, I'm not expecting major changes. It's mostly gonna be an M4. Like you'll get a little bit more feature, a little bit more whatever battery life and power and all of that.
You
It's an
think any
M4.
Mac
Like
Mini changes, any big ones, or you think it's just going to be a
um,
just
I
a spec bump?
I I actually talked myself into that the other day on the British Tech Network because I was at first I was thinking no, I don't see why they would do it. There's no real
Mm.
reason. I mean, the current design, literally, there's only ever been two designs of Mac Mini. I don't know if you realize that.
Oh,
They had
yeah.
the original with the white top, and then
Yep.
the little bit higher one, and then they flattened it and made it all aluminum.
They put a weight on it.
And that's it. Yeah, that's it. Like, steamrolled it probably.
Or like that video
And that's
that they got
literally.
in trouble for, where they crushed
Ah,
everything
yeah,
into
yeah,
one.
yeah. The press thing, yeah, yeah. No, but I mean, I literally talked myself into it, and the story is quite easy because literally what I bet I've probably written the script for them by now. I mean, they probably already recorded it, but like if they didn't like watch the back show, like I wrote the script for them. It's a environment play. The current Mac Mini, if you open it up, if you look at on iFixit, it is empty because
It
it
is.
was
Yep.
built for like a CD drive and like Intel, like Intel CPUs that produce a lot of heat and all of that crap.
The fan
And we
assembly
don't
and
have that
everything else.
anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, all of it. So there's a ton of
Mm.
empty space in there. But they're still producing it, they're shipping it, they need aluminum for the enclosure more because like they have to still like it still encloses empty space, literally. So it's a giant waste of resources if you
That's
really think
actually a
about it.
really
And Apple
good
is
way of looking at it. I didn't even think about
yeah,
that with all the empty space. I like that
yeah.
actually. Yeah.
So
Oh.
they will the story will literally be, hey, we redesigned it because and it is more environmentally friendly. It's net zero, all of that. Because now it's
Mm.
smaller, it uses X% less for shipping costs because the boxes are smaller and so on. Less aluminum, it's all recycled.
Mm.
You can literally write the story. And of course it's
Mm.
gonna get the probably the
They should
M4,
hire
because
you.
why not? Yeah, they
Right?
should.
So
No, they should, but not for that.
it,
I
it
don't think don't
it's
think
gonna
I'm
be
so good
interesting
at
though
writing press releases.
for the oh God, press releases. The Mac Mini Colo. Didn't they design
Hmm.
like custom enclosures for their
Yes,
Mac Mini
they
so you have to
did.
redo it
They
if it
did.
changes?
I mean, even Apple, as far as I know, is running some in the data center. So that's the other part. I mean, you can cram more of them
Oh,
in less space in a data center. So win-win, right?
can you
So as I
actually
said, I'm
link them together? Like just have a cluster of Mac Minis like working on one task? I
in a
forgot if it's possible.
way, yes. They're still individual machines, but sure. I mean, you just literally just connect them all together. It's
Because I
not
thought
one big
someone
machine. It's literally just one,
the multiple.
like
No,
it's a
I think there
cluster.
was. I forgot someone made custom software for it. I don't want to speak to it because I have
Mm-hmm.
to take
Yeah,
a look
yeah,
at
yeah.
it.
I
But
mean, sure. I think everybody probably did because in order to manage them properly, you kind of need to.
yeah, that's true.
Um, yeah, but it's like as I said, like that's the story. Like it's quite easy. Yeah, Apple should hire me for the whole HomePod and Home OS thing because
I'm cool with that.
Siri, all of that. I would. I like. I've offered. I'll take over the entire department.
Oh
And
no,
Siri just
you
got
said
triggered.
it. You said the magical word and you activated
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Luckily,
yeah.
mine. Oh, good thing I
Yes.
got the AirPods in, or it would have activated them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you're
Yeah.
doing
So
research in replacing your possibly your Mac Mini, right? From my call, or upgrading at least.
yes, yeah. So
So
I have a 2023 M2 Mac Mini. So quite recent actually,
oh
year and a
wow.
half old or something. And what I've realized is that I love that device. Like it's great. But what I've realized is I'm not really taking advantage of the Apple, the Mac side of things. Because literally just it's a headless machine.
It's running
It's
head.
like
Okay,
up
that's
here
what I
on
was
the
gonna
shelf.
say.
It's here in the shelf. It has like an OWC enclosure for like a RAID array. And I'm running a ton of Docker containers and stuff on that. So I'm using it really as a Linux box, like over SSH, auto deployment over SSH, like pipelines and all of that. And it's a mess because I mean there is tons of tools and open source tools and homebrew and all of that. Yeah, it kind of works, but half of the time it breaks. And rebooting the machine basically you have to SSH in and fix everything and
Got it.
start everything
Oh,
and BNC in for half of the stuff because I mean Apple also not very good at like allowing you to do things on the command line these days. There's like certain things that literally are very hard to do. You really need
or
to
you have to
screen
find
share
a you
in
pretty much have
and
to
do
find a
that.
workaround or install some third party
Yeah,
thing, and then
exactly. And
now you got extra
it's
stuff
not
to
working
support.
great.
It's more overhead for
Yeah,
everyone
it's
involved.
just
So
overhead. So I'm just realizing I'm using the wrong tool for the job. I love that Mac. I love having a second Mac in the house. Like all of it is great. It's just the wrong tool for me. So I'm thinking either I'm going to custom build like an enclosure, like get rid of the OWC RAID thing and just put it in there, or I'm going to buy like a one of those mini PCs. Like there's a couple others. Like there's the Asus, Intel NUCs. There's a couple others that I'm blanking on.
yeah, I
Um,
picked up one that I'm running right now is made by a System 76. So I'm running one of their
mm-hmm,
small micro PCs, and that's running my Jellyfin
mm-hmm.
server, which I need to fix
Yeah,
still.
yeah, exactly. I mean,
But
that's one of the things I'm running. Like I'm running like a DNS server, which is one of the things where you need like really crazy workarounds because
yeah,
macOS takes over the port that you would need for a DNS server because the MDNS responder that's like for AirPlay and all of that it basically runs on that port. So you can't run a DNS server on it.
oh,
So
okay.
you need like kind of a bridge network and then like all of that.
Oh,
So
extra
yeah,
crap to maintain.
Minis Forum is another one. I'll drop the link in.
Okay.
The Minis Forum MS01 is one I'm looking at because they have really good machines.
I'm actually
Seems
curious too
it's.
to see because I might need one more machine. I have that. I actually have a small Raspberry
Mm-hmm.
Pi running a Graph. It's like, I don't even
Mm-hmm.
mispronounce it. Graphena? Graphene? Yeah, Graphena. It's a server.
Grafana?
Grafana. Thank you. Oh my goodness, I did mispronounce it.
Grafana? Okay.
So I'm actually running that. I was looking at my WordPress sites, but we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
discuss what's happening, or not running, but monitoring them. But we're gonna discuss a little bit about that too later on about what's happening
Mm-hmm.
with them. But yeah, I'm
Yes.
so far I have a couple that barely, I mean, they're power sipping, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But for what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing, the Raspberry Pi won't be really a good solution, but that's
No,
why I have
it's
the other
for
one
gel.
running also.
Yeah. For like the DNS server or whatever, it would be perfectly fine because that could probably run on a calculator these days. Like it doesn't use a lot. But like
No,
all
no,
the
the
other stuff I'm
calculators.
doing.
Look at the TI whatever version. They're still running the same
Yeah.
hardware, so I don't know if they could.
No, I think you could
It's
probably run it. Like a simple DNS server from a local network. Like it's
didn't you
not
get
doing a
Doom
lot. I
running
think you
on
could
one of the
probably run.
TI
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
86, 87,
84
89?
is probably 84 plus, whatever. Yeah, yeah, I think so. Like so, as I said, I think you could probably
Oh,
run that, like run a bind 9 on a calculator. I bet you could do that. But like as I said, like Jellyfin, especially like anything
mm,
Plex, like video transcoding, anything like that, you need at least like a dedicated, or not a dedicated graphics card, but like a decent graphics card
mm,
that has a like encoding chip, basically.
got it.
So that's why I'm looking on Intel at Intel. I don't want to, but I checked and it is unfortunately the best for this type of the support on Linux is just better for it.
Have you looked at, I mean, the one I'm running right now, oh, I forgot if it's an Intel chip or an AMD chip inside of it. Give me 1 second. I
Yeah.
will find out. There's usually a sticker.
Yeah, it's sure. AMD you can kind of do it, but it's kind of it's not as good, it's not as efficient, the quality is not as good, like of the results. And it's just yeah.
Okay.
The
Uh,
support under Linux is also kind of iffy. Like sometimes it doesn't like certain chips only work and so on. So the Intel support on Linux is unfortunately better. So that's why everybody like I did a lot of research and everybody is saying, yeah, get
oh
an
yeah.
Intel. Get
It's
like probably an
Intel. Mine's
i3 or an
Intel.
i5.
Yep,
Yeah,
i3
that's what I
inside there
thought.
from the looks of it.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, that's
Sorry, I had
I'm
to look
probably
it up
also
real
gonna
quick.
go for the yeah, I'm probably also gonna go for an i3 because I really don't need I need some RAM, but I don't need a lot of CPU power. Like
Mm,
the even the M2 that I have right now, if I checked, even when I'm transcoding video or whatever, because most of it is dedicated chips, it's basically idle all the time. It's not
just
doing a
sits
lot.
there. Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why I'm like an i3 is probably totally fine. I might upgrade to an i5 just because I can
Let me
and
know
because it's
if
not that much more expensive. But
Let me know what you end up with. I'm actually curious, just
mm-hmm,
because I wanted to upgrade
will
too,
do.
and I might actually turn one of them into just like a little file server, storage server.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm using the two Synologies that I have, but I
Mm-hmm.
also want one more. Maybe actually, you know what? It's just gonna be for Jellyfin. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
we'll see what
there's this
happens.
YouTuber, crap, what's his name? Tim something. Techno Tim, yeah.
Oh,
That has a really good video that I got like someone sent me as a recommendation. I'll throw it in the
oh, okay. Thanks. I just actually
in
sorry,
here.
and then
He
autocorrected.
built
Yes.
he built like a really custom, nice looking like for your like living room
Mm.
uh
Oh
like
wow.
server. But you don't have to do that.
No, no, I don't. This one's gonna sit on a rack on a metal shelf,
Yeah, yeah,
and I'll
same
be
here.
running my
Yeah.
my Jellyfin server off of it. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
same here. But I did take a ton of like what I have now configured. It's gonna be a little bit more expensive than a mini PC because there's simply more parts and more stuff. But I did a lot of the recommendations that he had in his list. I took. It's actually quite recent, like from September. So it's the recommendations are quite recent, like what to get and why and so on. He really explains it well. So highly recommend that.
well. Now, since we kind of discussed hosting and just hosting our own stuff
Mm-hmm.
and our own application, we can jump into WordPress because everyone loves
Yay!
drama. Because I've
Drama.
been pinging
Spill
your
some.
just
Yeah, get
yes.
me the tea. I want the tea.
Because I've been kind of picking your brain on this too because I've been
Mm-hmm.
moving like my personal blog's already moved off. And I
Mm-hmm.
might be just jumping the gun too, but I guess
Yeah.
there's this spat between Matt
Mm-hmm.
Mullenweg and everything that falls under him, WordPress related, and
Yeah.
WP Engine. We'll more likely just add
Mm-hmm.
the links to it. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. But more likely, in my
It's
opinion,
really complicated.
WP Engine is kind of it's like the bad guy, but then you have the good guy going to the same level and just pulling themselves
Yeah.
down.
No,
And
that's the thing. It is two, I think, two almost billion-dollar companies fighting. There is no good guy or bad guy. They're
no,
both wrong,
yep.
honestly. They're both wrong. They're both behaving like kind of teenagers
Children.
and like it's
high
Yeah,
schoolers? What do you want to
children, high
say?
schoolers. Yeah, I know probably like more kindergartnens, but
Yeah, that's true too. Actually, my
yeah,
kindergartner, I think when my daughter was young, I
probably
think
more
she was well
mature than that.
behaved. Yes, yes, because it's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
But it's been going
yeah.
back and forth. I'm kind of worried about the ecosystem. We've been hearing a lot of stuff. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna possibly bigger companies are gonna fork off WordPress into their own
Yeah,
little thing. But I mean,
yeah.
we'll see what happens. Right now,
We'll see about
I
that.
have two sites that are still e-commerce that are tied to that.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't found a good
Mm,
solution. I was thinking maybe
yeah.
Squarespace, but Squarespace was also
Mm-hmm.
recently purchased by a
Yes.
whatchamacallit, by is it a
Like
some investing group I think purchased them.
yeah.
So
Some investing group. I think. Yeah.
my daughter just brought
We'll
me
see.
more candy.
Oh,
Yes, it's just like
or
the best.
candy.
I
She
got a
wants
whole bunch.
to give you diabetes, so you die early. No, I don't
Diabetes. You want to say hi real quick?
know.
Oh, my daughter's gonna jump onto the cast real quick if she wants. We're
Oh,
still in pajamas. Look at this. It's like
hi.
10 o'clock and we're still.
Well, that's how you do it. That's how you
I
do
wish
it.
I could do that. Crap. I
Hi.
should have done that. What am I saying?
I do
Was I
that
gonna
all
say
the
hi?
time. Hi.
Okay. Take care, Sophia. Sure, if it is. Oh, is it? Yeah, keep the watermelon. I don't like watermelon.
Yes, keep the watermelon.
Ugh,
No, it's
I don't
like
like fake watermelon.
I don't know what to feel about that. I mean, at some level, as I said, it's two adults kind of going at each other as kind of toddlers. So
Yeah.
they're both wrong. They're both doing like they're being petty and all of
But
that. I mean, yeah,
WP Engine
is
though is
VPN?
remaining more silent. Like you see Matt just posting this
Well,
crazy stuff and just
yeah.
ugh.
I mean, I mean, I would be too because I mean, I think they both filed lawsuits, so
Yeah,
it's
they did.
probably
And they're trying to
smarter to
move
be
it up
silent.
to yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you
So
say
it's
is gonna
probably
get used
smarter.
against you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Especially
exactly.
when it's online.
And I think I mean also like I think whoever says something, they have more to lose because it, it's kind of pointless. That the whole discussion is pointless, and WP
It
Engine can
is.
just keep going and do what they do because they have their customers, they have their business, and as long as it doesn't affect that, they're like. And I think the people that use it probably don't know or care about this whole thing.
No,
As
I
long
agree
as it
with you.
doesn't functionally affect them, like
It
they
is
don't care,
affecting
which
some
it did
developers.
sometimes.
And the whole like hijacking of plugins is a little bit worrisome too, just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we saw.
exactly. So
So
that that's where it did affect them. That like WordPress automatic they shut down some services that were being used by WP Engine customers, and I think that's where like plugins were taken over and all of that. So as I said, for me, it's simply what you're seeing is that the wrong person in charge of that company, and I think he is the wrong person.
yeah,
Um, at least from the outside perspective, I don't know, but it looks like it for me because, like I said, if you were smart, you wouldn't do it this way. Um, is really affecting the ecosystem, is affecting, and it's introducing a lot of doubt. I mean, he could literally shut us all down at any point. He
and
can't
that's
shut
yeah,
down WordPress because WordPress itself is open source, so they could take it commercial to a license change. It's possible. Others have done it. But then you could literally just fork the last version and continue, which has happened. Other things have done that. So it's yeah. For me, it's more like I don't want to have to deal with it. I don't want
yeah.
to have my stuff break
I think
because
that's
he made a
most people.
decision.
So,
Yeah.
and I mean,
So
the thing though is, it is affecting like some businesses that are kind of
mhm.
not tied to
Tons
WP
of
Engine, but
businesses.
it's like one person maybe
Yeah.
has an agreement with WP Engine.
Yeah.
It's just there's some.
No,
It's just this
it's
scorched earth
affecting
policy is ridiculous.
it's potentially affecting 40% of the web because 40% of the web is running on in some shape or
Jeez.
form on WordPress. So worst case scenario, it's affecting a big chunk of the web. And there is, I mean, there's a ton of sure individuals and personal sites, whatever, but there's also tons of like professional websites that are using it. Businesses that tons and
Yep.
tons and tons of businesses that run off that. So I don't think it's for me just I don't really need it. So that's why I'm like, I might as well see if I can't move off of it and then don't
I
have to
mean,
deal with it.
I might just stick around for now. with like
Mm,
I'm using WooCommerce and WordPress
mm-hmm.
pretty much for
Yeah,
shorty
I
stuff, my
don't.
stuff.
So,
I'll just stick
mm-hmm.
around for now. If it starts to get worse, I'll take a look at more alternatives. It just depends on
Yeah,
how much time do I want to kind of put into that
yeah,
to migrate, to move everything over. Luckily, it's still
mm-hmm.
both things are early, so it's not like a lot of
Yeah,
work, but it's just annoying. And then teaching new
yeah. I
stuff
mean,
again, and
yeah. I have three sites right now. Three podcasts.
mm,
Well, four podcasts already. Because one is British Tech Network, which is two podcasts on one platform. That one might, I think, be the hardest because
oh yeah,
there's a bunch of
yeah.
other people using it, and there's like 15 years
Oh,
of history in it, like archived and posts and whatever. So that might be a little bit harder. The others, one I can literally just shut down, and the other one is Jeff and me, and we can just find another solution. So we
yeah,
just picked it for fast and convenient,
yeah,
basically.
and the cost. Yeah, that's the big thing.
Well,
So.
for not even for me because I could have spun up like a Hugo based site
Mm.
because I have podcasts on Hugo. I have
Okay.
everything for it. I literally would have forked that, changed the style and the names and whatever, and published that. It would have been easy. I did literally the same thing with WordPress basically, so it didn't matter. But it was simply faster and easier to get everything going.
Yeah, I moved my
So I was like,
personal blog over to a micro.blog for now.
mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
like what
also a good one.
is it Manton Reese who runs it?
Manton
I always
Reese, yeah,
forget. Um,
yeah,
so he's I mean they've been doing a good job, and some of the stuff that's built in,
mm-hmm,
like you have
yeah,
the newsletter built into it, the podcasting hosting built into it.
mm-hmm,
And then I totally forgot he purchased Sunlit, which was way back when, remember app.net
mm-hmm.
when it was out there.
Oh
So
yeah.
they actually own
Wow.
Sunlit now for the
Blast from the
photos.
past.
Yeah, I know, right? Well,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
as I choke my spit.
There's some Fediverse like podcasting solutions as well that sounded interesting. So I might, as I said, for Red Rewatch, I might literally just see what's I mean, if it was me alone, I would literally have already moved away from it. But because it's Jeff and me, I'm like, okay, I have to see what he
If
also
he's okay with
comfortable
it
with
too.
using.
That
Yeah,
makes sense.
exactly.
I mean,
So
that's kind of where I'm
we'll
at
see.
with the two larger or more complex sites versus
Mm-hmm.
the basic stuff. I don't
Mm.
care where I move my crap to, as long as
Yeah, yeah.
my domain points to where it needs to, we're good to go.
Yeah, and the links
So,
still work that you
yep.
had out there works. Yeah.
I was actually
Yeah,
surprised.
exactly.
MicroBlog, the import worked really well. It brought everything over.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I got to find a theme I like a lot. I'm actually using the basic, the
Yeah.
Fugo one. That's the default
Oh,
one.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
believe is the one
Yeah,
I'm
Hugo
using right
default.
now.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, I mean
So,
Hugo is more I think that's more. I mean, I like my stuff is working off
mm,
Hugo, and I like it. But it's definitely something more involved. It's more for the people who can at least do some scripting and
mm.
configuration and whatever, work with Git or command lines and all of that.
I
So
enjoy it. I
it's
just
not
have to
for
find the time.
the
I think I have too many projects
yeah,
that I'm juggling. I need to make
yeah.
sure what can I kick out to actually
Mm-hmm.
focus on it. If not, it's
Yeah.
just I'll get it halfway done and it's just like this broken husk
Mm-hmm.
that's sitting there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean for me it's now that I have it, I've had it for I don't know many years. It's super easy because I literally just push a markdown file to a Git repo and everything else is automatic. So but I've spent the time also doing that, setting it up that way.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's move away from
So
WordPress
Hugo is
drama.
good.
I think we're
Yeah,
done
okay, let's go then. Done.
because we just want to let people know that hey, there's drama out there and just do your research and pretty much everyone's evil. That's part of this. There you go. We can't agree on
Yeah,
that.
kind of. Kind of, yes. Kind of, yes.
We'll kind of, I guess, jump into our picks. I have a few,
Mm-hmm.
and because there's some stuff I wasn't actually going to do that I did, so I'm kind of, because
Mm-hmm.
I'll start off. Well, first thing, I did move to an iPhone 16 Pro Max, and I
Yay.
stuck around with it. Yay! Look at that. Imagine that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apple upgrade plan.
So did
I was gonna
I.
wait and not do it, but I did. Oh, you did. Oh, nice. But my pick is what's around it. So I actually Peak Design.
Air, I
I
know.
use their yeah, Air. Oh, you jerk. Um, so I actually got a Peak Design case. I've had them for the last 2 years on
Mm-hmm.
my phones now, and this one's been pretty good. So this is the bone color that's on there, kind of
Mm-hmm.
newish color that they released.
Yeah, I
But
liked it. It's
it's
really cool color.
protective, lifetime warranty on their stuff. Their
Oh,
support's
nice.
amazing. They do
Mm-hmm.
good stuff for the environment, so it kind of aligns with what Apple's trying to do also. I just like the company in general. So I have a lot of their bags
Mm-hmm.
too. The nice thing about this, it is MagSafe compatible, so it charges you MagSafe if you need to. Also
Mm-hmm.
has this little piece right here. If you pick up any of their like mounts in the ecosystem, so if you go biking or off-roading or out in the wild,
Mm-hmm.
this is what it connects to. So instead of just magnetic, it
Nice.
connects, it hard locks in the
Mm-hmm.
device so it doesn't fall off when you're going motorcycling or when you're on your bike, maybe off-roading using your phone to record, for example. Other
Mm-hmm.
than that, I mean, the case, I've dropped my old phone multiple times, and it's this case still looks like it was new that was on there. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I still
That's
have.
cool.
Give me 1 second. I'll get the old one. I'll show it to you.
Wow, you're
Whoop.
you're you're destroying your stuff all the time.
Yeah, kind of.
Sounds of it.
Yeah, something like that. So the funny thing is, this is the midnight blue, which almost looks like it's ash or black like the other ones, but this is
Yeah,
the
that looks
previous
black.
case I had
Mm-hmm.
on there. But yeah, it's been in my
Kind of
pocket, been with
boring.
me all the time. Yeah, yeah, sure. Um, But this one, I mean, it's lasted. Their stuff's great. Another
Yeah,
nice thing is all
yeah.
of their gear,
So,
if you do resell it,
mm-hmm.
they actually have a
Mm-hmm.
free marketplace where they don't take a cut. You can just
Ooh,
paste it on there, and then
nice.
you see like
Uh-huh.
all their old bags, all their old equipment. You can
Mm-hmm.
post on there and then just get a
Oh,
little bit
that's
of money
cool.
back. So it's kind of
Yeah,
nice what they do.
that's
I like
awesome.
to support this
Yeah.
company. They have good Kickstarters.
Yeah.
If you ever get a
Uh-huh.
chance to go
Yeah,
to one of their
that's
stores, like in Tokyo,
mm-hmm.
or I believe San Francisco has one also in New York, and I
Mm-hmm.
think there's
Probably,
one
yeah.
more popping up. I forgot where it was at. But yeah, I mean, their stuff is
Vienna,
great.
maybe, I hope. Vienna?
Yeah, right. No, you're never gonna get it there.
I mean, yeah, it's a cool city. I'm not just saying. So
I guess my
no,
second
but it
pick
looks really
is
cool. I like it.
oh
I
the
like
case.
that. I like that case.
I
Yeah,
wish I could
it's
send
I
you
like
like
the
the extra ones I have if I get any, because
no,
I also have
I
plenty of
don't
other
need the extra
cases.
ones. It's fine. It's fine. No, and I mean when you said like oh it lasted basically on your on your phone. I mean like unlike the Apple ones that fall apart after like half a year usually.
I actually
It's
have a
like
fine woven case that I used a couple of times. I like how small it
mm-hmm,
is. But
mm-hmm,
and when I did use it for the couple months, it didn't actually fall apart or look like crap. So I don't know
mm-hmm.
if it's just the environment I'm in.
Okay, maybe
Um,
lucky. Yeah.
I'm lucky,
Yeah,
more
or they
likely. But
improve their stuff. Yeah.
even online, when you take a look at people's feedback, some people are like, I had it since the
Mm,
beginning and it still looks great. And you had people like, I destroyed it in
mm,
like 2 days, and you're like, what?
mm.
So
What
you know,
did
I mean,
you
just different
do?
scenarios. Yeah, what did you do?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but my other
No, I
pick.
usually had the rubber ones and they just started peeling off and falling apart and all
Yeah,
stuff.
those
So
get nasty. So I was actually looking at
yeah,
the Beats case. Was another
yeah.
one I was
Mm-hmm.
looking at. But then I decided
Oh
just,
yeah.
I'm going to stick with Peak Design. It's been
Yeah.
pretty good. Actually,
Yeah.
the only thing I'm
Yeah.
going to complain about a little bit on the side. So this is the camera
Mm-hmm.
button. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
focus on the camera.
Cut
But
out,
it only has a
probably.
cutout versus the actual, but it's
Yeah, the
comfortable. It
same
doesn't
on the
like
Spigen case.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay. They released actually
Mm-hmm.
an upgraded one where they have the I think it's the model
Yeah.
with a T inside of it, where it has
Yeah.
the little the
Yeah,
I don't know what they
because
use the
Apple
material.
released
So
the specs for it, so now
ah,
case companies can provide it. I bet if you went to Spigen now, they even have it. Just, I
they
mean,
do.
I got the early version, so.
But yeah, this one usually, I mean, the last time, but this doesn't feel bad at all. It's super smooth. It doesn't like
Mm-hmm.
cut into my finger.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of some cases where you kind of move around and it kind of cuts into your
Mm-hmm.
finger. It's really sharp. I was like, oh, that sounds like just a crappy case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's it. I was gonna do one more pick,
Mm-hmm.
which is just
Yeah.
the Apple
Why
Watch
not?
Series 10.
Nice.
I was actually
Yeah, it
worried
is
because I went
great.
from an Ultra. You got one too, or
Mm-hmm.
did you? Okay. And I was worried about the battery life. It is shorter, but it still lasts till the end of the day.
It
And
is?
usually when I
Oh, to the Ultra. Yeah, okay.
yeah. And then
Yeah, makes sense.
like when I take a shower and stuff, I usually charge it, or
Mm-hmm.
when I'm like
Yeah,
moving around where I don't need the
yeah.
watch, I charge it. It charges pretty quick for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, with the new, if you use the cable that it came with, it has the it does the fast charging,
Uh,
so that makes a difference.
I have to double check
It's slower on
if
the old ones, but I mean,
if
that
this
might
supports
I
it
know
because
what
this is
it
the
does.
Anchor one that
Yeah,
they recently released. The one I think is it
yeah,
the UFO is what
could
it's
be.
called. It kind of
Yeah.
folds together. Actually, that should
Oh,
be one of my picks
this
too.
is actually pretty cool.
And then
Like
yeah, it has like you
little
have your charging for your
mm,
your AirPods,
iPhone.
AirPod, iPhone, and for
Uh-huh.
your watch inside there. Because I had
Nice.
the Butterfly also from Charles South,
Mm-hmm.
but I always
Mm-hmm.
couldn't charge my AirPods. I had to choose between phone and
Mm,
AirPods, so I was kind of like, you know what?
yeah.
This
Yeah,
came
that's
out, I
cool.
picked it up, and it's pretty
Mm-hmm.
small, and I really actually
Mm-hmm.
like it so far. So and Anchor makes
No,
good
that's cool.
stuff. I mean, we really can't complain about
They
what they've
do.
been making.
They
So
do. They do really. I mean, they had a recall recently for some
from their
batteries.
battery packs, yeah,
Uh yeah, but I mean that can happen to anybody, and they handled it pretty well. I
they
mean, and
did.
we even got advance notice, like when they released it a little bit later, but we got advance notice that they're recalling it, and yeah, it's fine.
But that's all I had to
They're
share.
really doing.
So, what?
Oh,
Any
cool.
cool stuff that you have? I can do more if you want, but I actually ran
Oh,
out because I think
I
I'd have
have
to.
tons. I was just thinking, like, what
Hey,
do I
pick two or
pick? I
three.
mean, I
I'm just
two or three. Okay. Um. Okay. The first one is either going to cost you a ton of money, or if you already have a Vision Pro, it's cheap. Because the cool thing is actually FaceTime on the Vision Pro.
Ooh, okay.
If you've never experienced it, call me because it is insane. Like it's I literally the other weekend, I was sitting on a beach of Bora Bora, which is one of the environments. We actually have switched around. We were on the moon, and we were in like Yosemite, and we were on what's the mountain? I always forget.
Which one?
Uh,
Where at, I should
there's
say.
a no, there's one the one that Apple always uses. It's not the
Oh,
Hawaiian one. It's the other one. But something mountain. I always forget. But that's one of my favorites actually. Um, yeah, doesn't matter. The mountain one. So we were literally sitting like us like five people. I think one guy from UK, two or three from the US, and me. No, actually, one guy from Germany and me. We were literally sitting on a beach, Bora Bora, like a campfire in the middle between us because we literally put like a 3D object
wait,
there that was a
was it
campfire.
Haleakala by any chance? If it's the
No, no, the
Hawaiian
other
one?
one,
No, it was
the
the
other
other one.
one.
Sorry. So I'm going through the list right now, real quick.
Yeah,
Mount
yeah,
Hood.
yeah. Mount Hood. Thank you.
Because I
Yes,
actually
Mount
have a
Hood.
picture and I'll share it with you where
Yes.
we went down
Yeah.
there and I randomly got lost and Mount Hood was like in the behind me. I was like, holy
Oh,
crap. So I took a picture.
oh, that's funny. Yeah. So like, we're sitting like in a circle on a beach, campfire in the middle, and we're just talking. And we did like a 5 hour FaceTime call, like
That is
some
cool.
Saturday night. And I mean, we were playing card games because there's some share play card game apps on a Vision Pro. So literally, you have a table, and we're not really playing games. We were throwing cards at each other because that was fun.
Was it 52
Um,
pickup?
and
No, I'm just kidding.
something like that, yeah. And we were like, uh, we were standing like when we joined the call. So the cool thing is, like, imagine like I was literally standing in my kitchen, and you go into the FaceTime call, and it's fully immersive. So it's like kind of the other people look like a ghost because they don't have full body, so they like end up somewhere whatever belly button area.
Mhm.
Um, but it's like they're floating in your space around you, and literally like you can see the different heights of people. So if someone is sitting the
That's cool.
lower, they were
Oh man.
we're guessing at least two really their height. So like we were all standing up and like, oh, you're this tall, you're that tall, and it seemed to fit. Like the people were about the height that they are. So it
Mhm.
literally looked like you're standing together around in my case, the kitchen counter. They couldn't see the
Oh,
kitchen counter. We see our own environment. And then someone walked outside and went downstairs, and you could literally see them walking away from you, walking down the stairs. Like literally, you see it. They even go down, and you see them really far away. Stuff like that. It was really crazy.
oh, I'm
So
so
it
tempted to
was
pick
like,
one
and
up.
I mean, we didn't do it because we were just talking, but we could have literally opened our Jellyfin servers or TV app or Disney Plus or whatever supports SharePlay, and it would project to like one side over the ocean basically, and then
Uh,
sit and watch a show together. Literally could have done it, screen share basically, but
mm,
it was so freaking cool. So that
uh,
is my ultimate cool thing. Like it's insane, and there's a limitation that you can only do 5 people. If the sixth
mm.
join is basically jumps back to the window mode basically,
Okay, okay.
and I have a picture of that. But it's just
I'm
insane.
going to take an assumption that just rendering all that gets kind of nuts after a certain amount of time. Just amount of
Yeah,
people,
I think
movement.
I think
And
that's why it's only five, like including you, it's five basically.
give me
So I
battery
think
life
that's
too.
that's simply I mean, yeah, you can. I mean, yeah, sure, but
More
you can plug
processing,
in
more
like,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah, it's more
That's a good
processing
point.
simply.
That's a
I
good point.
think, yeah, a good plug in.
Mhm.
That's not a problem, but it's more processing simply. So, but I said we had so much fun. It was great. So FaceTime. I mean, I barely ever use FaceTime, but that was the first time I was like we have to do this more often.
That's
It is really freaking good. And everybody who does it for the first time, they come out of it smiling. It's just because it feels so real. I mean, it is not real, and we all know it, but it just feels like you're literally hanging out with friends, like on a beach somewhere.
that's cool.
So that's I
Minus
mean,
the sand
and I mean,
freeze,
with
depending on where you're at. No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah, exactly. I mean, no sand or whatever, but it's like I mean, the ocean like is rippling, the palm trees are moving, even the sound changes. Like it's more muted, so like sand would actually dampen the sound and all of that. It's just freaking good. So that's one of my picks. The other one is a book.
Ooh,
So there's a new book out from I don't know if you know Nicole Maines.
I do
She's
not. Maybe in passing, I might have seen it, or you might have shared it with
So
me. But
if you're in, there's kind of different ways so you could have like heard of her. She was Dreamer on Supergirl.
okay,
She was on Yellow. Oh, sorry, Yellow crap. Yellow Park. No, what is it called? TV show. No, I'm blanking on the name of the TV show. Let
uh,
me let me look that up real quick.
I was gonna say Yellowstone, but that
Yellow
might be
TV
wrong.
show.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Nicole Maines. I'm just blanking on the name right now. Yellow Jackets.
Oh, Yellow
Yellow
Jackets. Okay,
Jackets.
okay.
Yellow Jackets. So she was on Yellow Jackets. She's like kind of in that like kind of more nerdy community. She's done a ton of other really cool things. But she's released a book and it's titled, and I'll throw it also in our notes then. It gets better, except when it gets worse. That's the title. It's available as an audiobook on basically everywhere you could get an audiobook. I'll throw the link in here. Um,
Okay.
it's kind of, yeah, it's
I was
basically
close
it
with
gets
her name,
better except when
almost.
it gets worse and other unsolicited truths. I wish someone had told me. And it's a really interesting kind of cross section of her life, things she's interested in, and just good stories. Like she's really fun. It's probably one like it's a memoir at some point, and those memoirs sometimes you're like, okay, that person is kind of projecting a certain image that they want out there. Like the
Mm,
Will Smith one, as interesting as it was, you're like, yeah, he's just projecting the person he wants to be out there, basically. With
mm.
her, I had the feeling it's just her. Like she is like no filter, like whatever. She says whatever she wants. She wrote it, she narrated it. She had a ghostwriter
Huh.
to be fair. So and she discloses that. She's like, yeah, thank you to my ghostwriter. Helped her kind of organize her thoughts. But she talks about some quite heavy stories. She's a transgender woman, very well known. Her mom and Alice Nutt wrote a book about her, but not really about her. Uh, Titled "Becoming Nicole," like 10 years ago or something, 15 years ago, something like that. But it wasn't really her story. It was more about parents dealing with things and politics and all of that. And she was like, she wanted to tell her side and her story, really.
Mm,
And she does. And she talks about, as I said, other nerdy things she's into and why, whatever this fandoms and what she's into, and like some heavy stuff as well, like depression that she dealt
mm.
with, stuff like that. So it's a really good book. I highly recommend it. It's available in print in the US at least. Unfortunately, not here. Otherwise, I would have bought like 10 of them just to support her. Like I
Just
like her. Like
mm,
she's cool. But the audiobook is really good. And as I said,
okay.
she literally narrates it.
Seniority. Okay.
So
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah.
Oh man, I
Yeah.
got
I
more
mean, she's
stuff
an
to.
actress. That part I think she can do. The writing seemed to be harder for her. So
Actually,
Ghostwriter
what
makes sense.
you mentioned like books and back. Well, I mentioned the
Mm-hmm.
backlog, but back to
Mm-hmm.
MicroBlog. I didn't know they had this application. Let me look what it was called, where it's actually a virtual bookshelf they can integrate into your MicroBlog.
Oh,
Goodness, let me
interesting.
see. There's a whole bunch of little apps. Epilogue is what it's called. So you
Epilogue.
can
Okay.
actually
Uh-huh.
you can add in your reading goals and your
Mm-hmm.
books that you're looking at inside there. I thought that's kind of interesting. So
I
there's
have to look
all
into
this
that.
cool little this cool little stuff inside there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you need a micro.blog account, I mean subscription, but
Hmm.
yeah, there's a whole bunch of different apps.
I'll check
There's
it
one like
out.
for podcasting, short
Mm-hmm.
style podcasting. Strata, I
Mm-hmm.
think, was for notes, so similar to Apple Notes. And then Summit
Mm-hmm.
was like their picture stuff, and MicroBlog's just their main application. So yeah, lots of
Yeah.
little cool applications in that ecosystem now. I was kind
Mm-hmm.
of surprised how it's
Yeah.
grown because I backed it on
Yeah, I
Kickstarter a long
love
time
that.
ago. So
Yeah. 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 It said I love that. Like that's kind of like the whole ecosystem. The link I put in is Libro, which is a kind of an independent
right, right,
audiobook place where you support your local audio. Oh, I mean, if it participates, you support your local audiobook. Sorry, your local bookstore
bookstore.
with audiobooks.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
So
not
I
a lot of
picked
those
one in
left.
Salzburg here
Oh,
because Vienna didn't have one for some reason, but Salzburg, there's the English Center in Salzburg, and I'm supporting them. So like when you buy, like they have it's like Audible. They have memberships, costs about the same.
mm,
You get almost the same book selection. There's a couple things that are unfortunately only on Audible because, well, it's
oh,
Amazon and they force
licensing
people to do
agreements. Yep.
exclusives. Yeah, they do Audible exclusive and force people into it, kind of. But other than that, I mean, most books are available also on that. And I don't want to do Amazon, so I'm
Yeah, I'm
doing
trying
that if I
to.
can.
It's hard to stay away, especially on the US side right now. You don't really have a lot of. There's some
Yeah,
local
but Libro is
options like
available worldwide, so
everywhere, right? Okay, that's perfect.
check it
Thank
out.
you.
Yeah, check it out. It's
'Cause I usually
it's
do
it's
Apple
a I think it's
Books
even a
is
US
where you
company and
go.
they came to I think it's even a US company and they came
Okay.
to Europe. Let me see. I could probably figure it out. Yeah, but you literally basically you pick a like a bookstore. They have a search. You can even like send it to your store if they're not
Now I'm
supporting it.
curious.
And it's really cool. Like you're getting like I when I signed up, and every now and then I get an email from my bookstore, like, hey, thanking me for that I'm supporting
Oh,
them
for
and all of that. So they do get a cut of out of that sale. So that's pretty cool.
oh, I'm gonna have to dig into this now. Thanks for explaining that. Actually, I think you might
Mm-hmm.
have mentioned it in passing, and then my brain was like, "Whoop."
Yeah, could be.
um,
Could be.
but that's pretty
Yeah, I
cool.
would
I'll
have
have
to
to. Oh,
see if I can find where they're
there's a
from.
search. There's a search I'm looking for right now. Support your local bookstores. I'm gonna actually type in. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to see what we have in Hawaii, if anything. Like I said, I don't think we have any like independent bookstores anymore. There's one, I don't know if it exists still, but it's near the university,
Mm-hmm.
which is called Revolution Books, which was, well, you can
Oh
imagine
yeah.
what their
Mm-hmm.
stuff was. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, oh my
Yeah, as
goodness.
I said, it's
I think I need to use a different browser. It just crashed. because I'm messing around with Orion, the Orion browser right
uh-huh.
now.
Uh,
But it's some things it doesn't render properly or it has like
mm,
issues. So, oh well, I'll dig into this later. But I did
yeah.
actually have one more pick, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Um,
sure, go for it. Would be interesting.
so my pick is actually something that you and Jeff are doing right now with a retro rewatch
Okay.
because you actually rekindled my desire to finish to actually go through and watch SG1, Stargate SG1 again. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to say thank you for that. So
You're
you're
welcome.
more likely going to share it at the end, but I wanted to just make it my pick too because it's a good podcast. I love the back and forth banter, and it's just like I said, you guys, y'all have me watching the
Mm-hmm.
show again. So.
Yeah,
Uh, Many
yeah.
thanks.
But you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, Stargate is a lot of fun. By the way, I checked. Libro is actually a Seattle company.
Oh,
They
okay.
started in Seattle, like with a bookstore in Seattle, actually. Which
Huh.
so yeah, that's why I said like I think it's a US thing.
Abby's
Yeah.
Bookshop.
No.
I wonder what this is.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of clicking on the links on their site right now, like digging
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Darn it, this rat hole. I need to focus.
Yeah. No, as I
Oh,
said, like it's a really cool service. Yeah, Stargate SG1. I mean, I'm massively enjoying talking about it with Jeff and rewatching it and rewatching it a different way. I mean, I'm watching it like twice a year or something
mm.
usually. Once or twice a year usually. At
Are you
some
all gonna do
point, I'm like, oh, I
Atlantis?
haven't seen it.
Are you gonna do
I've
Atlantis
done
too?
Atlant.
Since
I do
everyone
all
did
of
it?
them. I do all of
Okay.
them. Like
I mean, are you
I
you and
I skipped
Jeff,
I
or
skipped the
Jeff and you?
original. Let's see. I mean, we have
A
probably
lot
about
to go through.
200 something episodes of Stargate SG1 still. But I mean, like our thing is, it's not a Stargate SG1 rewatch podcast. It's
It's
a retro
anything
show
retro.
rewatch. We can at any point we're like, bored. Let's do something
Get it.
else, and then we do something else, or we might come back to SG1. We're like, oh, we want to continue. Well, like we might. I mean, we're about to
Mm.
release a kind of a supplemental episode where we talk about some other stuff. that we enjoyed. So not spoiling that. It's a cross kind of a cross episode from the British British Tech Network that we did. Summer of Fun episode that we're posting. So no guarantees. Like it's not a rewatch podcast. It's literally a we watch the things we want to watch podcast. So we
Oh man.
might not. Who knows? We have content probably before the next 50 years. So
Yeah, based on that. But no, thank you again for doing that.
like
It's good. I'm enjoying
yeah,
it. So
I mean it's just for me it's fun. Like it's and I mean we're quite far ahead of like what we're recording right now as what we're publishing. I think we have like 10 or 15, 13, 12 episodes, something like that.
oh wow.
More
Okay.
already recorded, and it's so much fun. I mean, we've had weeks where we recorded three in a row. We were
Woo.
literally like, okay, let's watch the next one and then continue because we couldn't stop. And then I made Jeff wait because I was like, at the end of season 1, there's a cliffhanger, and I made him
Okay.
wait. I was
Oh
like, don't
geez.
watch
That's
the
messed
don't
up.
watch the full thing. And then I was like, okay, and then let's do an extra episode where we do a recap of season 1 before we go into season 2. So
Mm.
he had to wait and before he could watch the
It's
new
more
episode because it
likely.
was like, I mean, that's how it was back then, like literally, and I wanted him to experience that because these days you can just click the button and
Yep.
go into season 2 and
Well, they're
continue.
bringing that back though. If you
And
take a look at it, if you look at like what Amazon's doing, and a couple other like, hey, you know
ah,
what? We're
or
gonna release
Apple,
it once every week. Paramount Plus with
yeah.
your episodes, and Apple's doing it
I
too.
mean,
It's just annoying.
but once a week would be fine. I mean, it was back then, I think, 4 months in between because the
Oh no,
season
you're right. It
ended,
was
and then I think
worse.
4 months.
Oh,
But some countries, and I looked it up, Sweden actually had to wait 5.5 years between end of season 1 and then season 2 coming out
was it for the
because of
voiceovers or for
no
the
network politics and all
disagreement?
of that.
Oh gosh, that
Nah.
crap. Okay.
It's just that
Mhm.
the head of the network didn't believe in it, even though it was many years after it was already successful in the US. So it kind of was obvious that it should continue, but he just didn't like it, and he was like, "Nah, canceling it." And then
Well,
it took 500 years to get. So as I said, I mean, the three, I think it was like 3.5 months that people in the US had to wait back then was fine. And I think Jeff had like a week, so okay.
jeez.
Yeah. But it
Oh,
is, I mean, the cliffhangers are happening more, you're right. Like Apple is doing it with Slow Horses, for example, where you get at the
oh,
end
yes.
next season on Slow Horses, and I'm like, oh crap.
Silo was the same way.
Oh, Silo
Um,
is, yeah, it's a little bit as well. I mean,
uh,
by the way, Silo is a really interesting book series. Jeff doesn't like it. He's like that author needs an editor, but
I've heard people see. I there was yeah. I heard people like I love it, and then yeah, the same thing. Oh,
yeah.
now my camera's following me. Fantastic. Now this thing is gonna go silly again. Oh, I didn't even give the command. Forgot to disable that mess.
By your
Oh, you
command.
know why? I think because I said FOLLOWME. I think that's why.
Oh, that's
So,
probably why, yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
No,
Well, at least it's doing a good job, right?
Silo is honestly the first book and the first season actually the worst in my opinion. I actually like the second and the third book more than the first one because it gets really interesting in the second and third book.
Is it worth picking up the books and reading them?
I've listened to it over time. I think since Silo came out on Apple TV Plus. I didn't know about the series before that. So I watched Silo on Apple TV Plus, I think the first couple of episodes, and then I picked up the book because I wanted to know how it continues.
Got it.
And since then, I've probably listened to the entire series like 6 times. I really like it. It's really good. Personal
Oh,
opinion.
okay.
Other people
No,
might
I'm
hate it.
good.
Who
No,
knows?
no, that's understandable. I mean, that's
It's
why it's
good.
your
It's
your
good.
pick.
Yeah, but I mean, Jeff said he read the books and he's like that person needs an editor. I'm like, okay. I mean, he's
That's
a writer,
okay.
so I mean, what I don't know. For me, it was fun. It was entertaining. So there's a lot more going on than you would think. Not
I'm
gonna
looking
tell
forward
you
to
more.
I'm looking
But
forward to the season.
it
So,
got me thinking. It got me thinking about the world a lot differently.
is the second season next month in November or was it December? I forgot.
No,
So,
mid-November
okay. It's
24th or something like
actually,
that.
let me look it up real quick.
17th, 24th, something like that. It was, I think.
It's like, oh, November 15th. Okay, nice.
15th. Okay, so something like that. Yeah,
Cool.
mid-November. That's what I remembered.
Looking forward to that
Yeah, it's
actually.
coming. It's coming.
Are
It's
we
coming.
seeing
There's
more
been already a
on
couple trailers.
On a tangent, are we going to see more Foundation? I forgot if they canceled the film. I
No,
mean, we're like on a
no
cliffhanger on that
announcements as far
too.
as I know.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's not
I've
good.
seen no announcements whatsoever that they're either canceling it or continuing it. I don't think so.
Okay,
I think it's too
that's a bummer.
expensive and it's not been super successful.
It's kind of a slow burn. I mean, it's something where you have
It
to sit
is,
in
yeah.
and kind of you have to pay attention. It's not something you can run in the
Yeah,
background and listen to. So,
that's my problem with the show. I had a really hard time making it through because, ADHD and like just like every 5 seconds I would go off and do something else because it didn't
oh
grab
yeah,
me as
me
enough
too.
to actually focus on it. And then the problem is you can't do that with that show. You have to go back and watch it again. And so I would watch the same scene over and over and over and then think at some point I just gave up.
Mm.
So
Oh,
I don't even know if I finished it ever. I
I
did make it
finished it.
through some seasons, but I don't know if I did it all the way at the end. So
Okay. And then Severance too. Severance is coming back. While we're on
oh
cool
yes.
shows that
Oh
I almost forgot about that.
yes.
While we're on Apple TV
January.
shows. Oh my
January.
goodness. Not
They
seen enough.
they kind of released the like most hilarious like announcement for that. Like oh yeah, come back to the office
Yep.
basically
I
announcement.
was just like, oh man, that hits home. And people were angry about it, which is
Mm-hmm.
funny. I was like, you do understand they're
Yes.
playing on companies actually doing that. That's the whole point.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, how
That's
do
the
you
whole
miss
point
this
of the
point?
entire show.
You acting like this is like a nonfiction documentary. It's not.
Mm-hmm. No,
Well, it feels like it
no,
sometimes,
it's
but
like no, I mean it's kind of supposed to be kind of the worst company you can imagine. So of
I'm
course they're
looking
doing
forward to
that.
that though. That ended on a cliffhanger
Me
too,
too.
which was so annoying.
Yes, they did. They did. Yeah, I mean Apple's. I think I mean cliffhangers used to be not super popular because I think in a world where you don't know if you're gonna get another season, it's really difficult to do that because you might never get any resolution to it.
But that's happening right now too. If you look at some seasons, I forgot which shows were canceled, but
Some,
there's some where it ended on a cliffhanger
some,
and you're expecting more.
yeah, some were hoping or had probably strong inclinations that they could continue, and then they didn't.
Yep.
Or
Mm,
something like was it Discovery, for example, where they thought they had another season, and then they got an
yeah.
announcement while they I think they were shooting the last season that they weren't. So they no, actually, I think even after they were done, they kind of got back and reshot some things to kind of add some
Thank
to it and have a conclusion.
thank you for reminding me. I need to start watching Lower Decks and then the last season of
Ah, yes,
Discovery. And then we have what, Brave New
yes.
World? No, it's not Brave New World. What the heck
Strange
is it
New
called?
World is
Strange New World. I keep
coming.
calling it Brave New World.
Yeah, Strange New World is coming, but I don't remember when. But it's coming back probably I think also next year. Some
Oh
point.
man.
And then we got but I don't remember. I think it's also January, the release date for the Section 31 movie.
Right. I
And
saw
I
that.
think, did we get a release date for the Star Trek Academy? Don't remember. But we got
I don't
some
remember
announcement
either.
around that.
I
We
saw
got
it kind of
at
pop
least we
up.
know who the cast is, and we got some stuff for I think some trailers or something for that.
Hmm.
So I think that's also coming. So there's tons of really good content coming up. Shrinking is right now
Oh,
already on
Shrinking
Apple
is good,
TV
I've heard.
Plus. That's awesome. Yeah,
Oh,
we've heard season 4 of Ted Lasso.
right.
Seems to be Apple has not done any
That's
official announcements,
no.
but
I'm
there
hoping
is,
next
I would
week we hear
say,
something. I'm hoping that's part of
yeah, it
the
might actually be. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. We might actually see that.
oh,
Yeah, they haven't officially announced it, but there was a lot of like smoke and fire, and I think
yep,
there
yep.
was in the UK there was some official kind of filing of stuff that they're going to shoot in the US and in the UK. So I
Which
think
reminds me, I
that's
need to
pretty
finish it up
strong
with my
indication.
wife because we're watching it right now. I think we're in
Uh huh.
season 2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we're trying to finish it up, and she
Oh,
really enjoys it. I actually I didn't expect to
season
enjoy it
three
either,
is.
and
Oh,
then it
me
was
me
just
neither.
amazing.
I
Oh, I loved it.
I kind of didn't start it for forever. I mean,
Yep,
relatively speaking, for forever because I was always like, I don't like sports. I don't like
same
that. And
here.
then some. I
That's
think Jeff or someone finally convinced me, and I started watching it, and then I binged it basically
yep.
because I think the
Yep.
season
That's what
was at
happened
that
to
point
me.
already finished. I was like, I binged it, and I watched the second season, and the third season, I basically cried the entire time. Like literally, I
No, it
think
was
there's barely a time where I didn't cry because it was so good. The second season was okay, but the third season was really good.
the third
I
season. It
said
hit its
cried the
stride.
entire
It was
time.
amazing. It was
Yes. Yeah.
definitely emotional.
So, I mean, they never said it's gonna get canceled. It was on hiatus.
Mm.
So it looks like it's coming back, and we'll see what happens. Is Jason Sudeikis gonna be actually in it? I mean, other than as a producer, because he for sure is in that. world, but is he actually going to be in there? Who knows? I mean, it's kind of titled Ted Lasso, so I guess some way
Yeah, he
must
has
be
to be, right?
involved. Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, it's going to be interesting what happens.
I'm just looking at the
Yeah,
time.
but there's
Holy
no
crap.
date
I
for
need to go to
that. That's
lunch
that.
soon, the way things are going now, and
Yeah.
you have to get to bed more likely.
No, no,
I think we
no. I
have
mean,
time difference.
I have next week off, so I'll
Oh, I
probably go back
forgot.
in like
You
5 hours
are.
or something.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Yeah, but you
But
should definitely get lunch, and I think we've talked about.
ooh, we talked about a lot of stuff. I was actually very
Yeah,
surprised. It was a good discussion. I think it's a
yeah,
little bit more organized
yeah.
this time, even though it's random. It's a little bit more organized.
No, it was random that it happened because I literally
Oh,
didn't
fair
even
enough.
know like 3 hours ago that we would do it even.
No, it was my
And
fault. The way I said it
no,
yesterday,
it's
I was like,
fine.
"Hey, depending how I feel, I should have called it out better. That was my bad."
Eh,
So,
I didn't even catch that. So I for me, but that's kind of the point, right? It's random.
but where else can we
I'm
find you,
fine with that.
Patrice? Where else can we find you? Because
British
you're in
Tech Network.
20 million places, right?
Oh, I'm in 20 million places. I have so many podcasts right now. I've realized the other day that I've been doing British Tech Network for 10 years at this point.
Holy crap!
So, yeah, it's been that long.
Oh,
Before, I mean, almost every week. So, BritishTechNetwork.com every week. Big Show and Mac Show. Warning to everybody in US. Uh, we in Europe already did our daylight savings changes. So
all
that's
right.
why, Jeff, but that's why for you it was a little bit earlier,
Wait, did it move
um,
again this week, or is it moving recent? Was it recent,
U
or is it
US
changing
is
again?
no, we just did it. We went
Okay,
an hour back, and the US is doing it the weekend after. So because it's always like off by 1 or 2 weeks usually.
because Hawaii
So
doesn't
there's like
have daylight savings time, so we're in a weird
you don't
position
do
where
that,
I have
and
to
you're so
adjust
lucky.
to the. Oh,
You're so lucky. Now it's the US is doing it next weekend, so
okay.
that's happening. What is that then? The third, I think. 3rd of November. So right before election day or election week. Yeah, so but that means that all the shows are off because we're doing 4 p.m. We're live streaming 4 p.m. UK time on a Friday, the Mac show, and 7 p.m. UK time on a Thursday, the big show. So we talk
Hasn't
about
it
the non-Apple side of things.
hasn't it been co-opted by a bunch of people from the US? Is it really the British time? I'm
Mostly,
kidding.
yeah, there's literally one token Brit on the big show. That's right now. That's it. I'm
Oh
actually
my.
trying to get more on, to be honest. Because I'm like, we should at least have one per show. That would be good. One token per show.
And now we have a saw starting in the background. I think it's telling us that it's done.
Yay. Yeah. So BritishTechNetwork.com, thepatrice.com is where you can find, that's my Google website, all the links, social medias, all of that. Blog that I rarely ever write in, and RetroRewatch.com with Jeff Gamet, where we release Singularity on Friday. So that's episode 15 of Sorry SG1, episode 14 of our show. That's like a mid-season cliffhanger, also something you don't see these days. And yeah,
I don't miss
it's
those.
a really cool one. It's a really cool one. So go watch
Oh
that
man.
or listen to that.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I'm only on episode 6, so I'm trying to catch up to you all. I still got a bit of catching up
Yeah,
to
you
do.
will. You will.
I usually run it in the background when I'm working on something and then kind of jump back and
Mm-hmm.
forth
That's
between
perfect.
it. So, oh
That's
man.
kind of what you do it for.
For myself, where
So
can you find
how
me?
about you? Yeah.
I don't know. I lose myself all the time. No, I'm just kidding. Best place
uh,
is jeromekohler.com. I kind of link out to a bunch of other things there. And I'm usually
mhm.
Jerome Kohler and I'll add this to notes too, and like Mastodon, Blue Sky, holy crap. Everywhere I kind of narrowed it down to just Jerome Kohler just to make life a little bit easier. If not, it's like Jerome 808 or just Jerome by itself. But most time Jerome Kohler because that was what was available. I
Mhm.
haven't really been doing stuff. I am trying to push myself to maybe talk to Jeff and bribe him or something and jump on a Mac show, but it is early in the morning. So that's the only thing I have to worry about because
you're
I do have
you're
to go to work
always
that day.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're always
I'll ping
welcome.
him when we're done with this and just see if he's cool with that. Because I gotta
Oh,
prove
you
Ben
don't have
wrong.
to
That's
ask.
why. No, I'm just
Already,
kidding.
if you want to do it, no, you don't have to ask. Literally, if
Oh,
you want to do it, done. Already
okay.
invited.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Just let me
Much
know. If
appreciated.
let me know when, I'll send you the
Okay.
link.
I have to remember to catch the daylight saving time, though. That's the only bad thing.
Mhm. Yeah, but we
Uh,
already changed, so it's done now.
that's right. So it shouldn't be as bad. And we don't change, so
Mhm.
life is good.
Yes.
But that's
Yeah,
it.
it's
And
actually
I'm
at 6 a.m. for you now.
trying to do more stuff on YouTube too, just more reviews and stuff. I need to get to a better cadence. And I got a scolding from Doc. So if you all know Doc Rock, I kind of got a scolding from him, and I agree with what he said. So I need to just make sure I do what I promise. So if not, the good news is if I make him angry, maybe I'll get to see him in person again. He did invite me over, so I got to say hi to him. But that's just on a tangent. Because you more likely have texted him too, right, Patrice? And he's been
Of
super busy.
course.
But I think he went to there was an event he went to. Was it Massachusetts? I forgot where he went to, or Maryland. I forgot where. But he mentioned it was
I
East
don't know.
Coast somewhere.
He seems to be all
So
over the world.
yeah, it's just like every time I look, I'm like he's in a different place. It's pretty funny. Like
Yeah.
some friends, I don't like. I traveled to Japan, and that's where I saw my friends
hmm
randomly. They're like, "Oh,
hmm
we're here too." I'm like,
hmm
"What the crap?" So this
Oh
is the
yeah, I
whole time
remember
as
the time
friends
when
now.
you were all kind of in Japan, but like offset by a week or something. I'm like, oh, that was
Well,
badly
this time when my
coordinated.
friends went and we met up in Tokyo, and I was like, "Holy crap, this is
Oh
so
yeah.
bizarro world." But that's it. But
Yeah.
for this podcast itself, I'm gonna try to keep it on that weekly cadence, unless something really comes up, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to adjust the time.
Mm-hmm.
That is on me, and I'll make sure to adjust it and kind of start cleaning it up a bit more. Yeah, I wonder what they're sawing over there. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if you
As
can
long
hear
as
it or
the
if it's actually
chainsaw is not, yeah, we can hear it. As long as the chainsaw isn't coming through the wall, it's okay. You know, Halloween is coming, so just
that is
saying.
true. It's the mass murder that's coming through. So.
The
Um,
neighbor mass murderer is coming.
but that's it. So I was gonna say, well, thanks everyone for listening to this. It's I think still private right now.
Thank you.
I want to do a live one somewhere along the way, where we just jump on and just let people jump on
Mm-hmm.
and kind of give feedback and stuff too. It's always fun to
Sure.
have other folks kind of jumping on. It's kind of a weird time though. I think for the people in Europe, it's kind of yeah, just a little
No, it
bit
would
different.
be
But we'll
okay.
figure it out. We'll
Monday
play along
night
with
is
it.
fine.
That's true.
Yeah.
But thanks, Patrice, for jumping on
Thank
at
you.
the last moment as always. And
You
then
know, that's what I am. I have no plans, and it's literally like if someone asks me, "You want to do X?" I'm like, "Sure, let's do it."
why not? I got
Yeah,
vacation that, here in the US we don't.
yeah.
What's
No,
vacation?
but
I'm
if you
just,
ask me, "You want to do X in 3 weeks?" I'm like, I don't know.
but if it's last minute, yes, got it. No,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
like
kidding.
fine, let's do it.
But that is it. Patrice, do you have anything else to add? I'm sorry. I totally
No,
more likely cut
no,
you off
all
when I told
good,
you to
all
leave.
good. Let's do this.
Let's end this. I actually have to find the
Let's end
button
this.
again because I'm hiding it somewhere. I used to have I forgot
Push
where I
the
moved my Steam
button.
Deck to push the button. Actually, the Stream Deck I
You know,
have,
tap,
it didn't move over
tap,
to the stop. I know, I got it. I'll just do it via the app.
tap,
But
like Provision Pro. Tap.
well, everyone, you all take care.